Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new Football Manager experiment where we take a look at what would happen if you gave a club what I would describe as the perfect shell. So what we're going to do is if we take a look at Boston United, who are the club we're going to be using for this experiment. They're in the Vanarama National League North. What we've done is given them the perfect reputation. We've also given them the perfect attendance as well, so they'll be pulling in loads and loads of fans. They've got quite a good bank balance as well. So they've been given about £500 million in the club there in order to sort of take the stuff forward. Transfer budget, wage budget is just at a reasonable level for what I think they need at the moment. The board will decide where that should be. Capacity of the stadium, 150,000. The expansion capacity is huge as well. Training, youth facilities, all huge as well. So everything that we could give them in the back room is looking pretty perfect. And all we're going to do, we're going to leave the rest of the club exactly how it is, but we're just going to progress the game forward and see what they can achieve with the perfect facilities and everything around them. Now, the biggest factor in this, I mean, this is a combination of several experiments we've done in the past, but the biggest factor for me is a reputation. It's not something I've played with on this channel before, but on the FM Scout YouTube channel I did do an experiment for them where I gave a club a perfect reputation. You can always go and check that video out on their channel. But it's the first time I've done it on this one, and I think we may well have just created the perfect football club, and I think their players will significantly improve in very short periods of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this team forward 1 year. We're going to see where they are, what transfers they've made, how the facilities are, and then we'll think about moving forward year after year from that point on. Well, we are now a year in the future, and if we have a look at Boston's page, you can see they're still rich, still got a worldwide reputation, and they have also won the Vanarama National League North. If we take a look at the National League, you'll see that they are now in here, ready to start the new season in 4th place. But if we drop down to last year, have a look at the stages and drop back a season, you'll see that they won the league by 13 points in the end. A huge gap over Field in 2nd place, Chorley just behind them as well, finishing 23 points behind them in the end. But a very good performance from Boston in their first season, making huge changes early on. Adam Murray, the manager, I think the same manager they had at the start of this experiment. Greg Smith, still the captain. If we have a look at their details though, you can see that the game has changed their club attendance somewhat. I'm not sure what has happened here because they had the perfect stadium, but that has now disappeared. They've completely eradicated the attendance, at least, even though they've got perfect reputation. The game has just completely sliced their attendance down to a maximum of 25,000, which will have a huge implication on their finances going forward. If they aren't able to draw the fans in as much, they won't be able to bring in as much money despite their reputation. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. And I'm not sure of the rationale of the game in slashing that so much. I would have thought maybe if they had a lower reputation it would have had an impact, but they don't. They have a lot of money, they've got a sugar daddy, they've got a lot of cash, and their facilities as well also cut down. They're now at the Jakeman's Community Stadium. So I honestly have absolutely no idea what has gone on with their facilities. I don't think there's anything in the facilities page to tell us that something has happened. They're still in Boston, 5,000 seater stadium, so I'm not sure if that's something that I did that was a mistake or if it's something that the game did just to remove them from their exceptional stadium, but it's gone and happened without me doing anything at all. So I really don't know what's happened there. If we maybe have a look at their history, possibly their competitions history, or maybe even their news might have a bit of information, but I can't see anything at all that would let us know what has happened. Maybe in the landmark screen, the move to the Jakeman's Community Stadium was completed. I have no idea why they would move stadium. The 1st of July this year that happened, just a week ago, they moved to a stadium that is so much smaller than the one they had before. And I honestly don't know what's happened there. I don't know if it's something to do with the stadium condition. I may have set that at the wrong level, and it means that they have moved to a stadium with a better condition. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments what has happened there, because I am very, very confused. They still have perfect facilities though, even if their attendance is completely messed over. Maybe another club came in and bought their old stadium, I don't know. But it has had quite a big impact on them, because it will limit their potential to bring money in through stadium revenue. But they did very well in the league. If we have a quick look at their schedule, then we will see that last season they got started off in a pretty poor fashion. It took them a while to get going, but then they hit a very good winning streak, also going through in the FA Cup second round, qualifying round, before losing to Hull Beach, which must have been a bit of a surprise. I don't think Hull Beach are even not even a non-league team in the game. They're obviously a non-league team, but lower down the divisions, I would have thought. Still doing very well in the Vanuatu National League North, getting through in the FA Trophy before being beaten by Kidderminster in the first round. But they did good enough in the league to make sure that they won it. If we have a quick look at their transfer centre, you can see they're trying to sign Valera at the moment, but their transfer history screen, they signed Ben Woodburn for up to £25 million from Liverpool. Why would he leave Liverpool? That is crazy. It's only their reputation that's allowed them to do that. They've also signed several other big players from the likes of Villa and Middlesbrough, even Rotherham and Bristol, quite big teams to be poaching players from, and £27 million spent in the Vanarama National League North is obscene. Ben Woodburn, though, coming in and surely doing a pretty great job for them in the first season. He's only just joined them, so he must have joined them at the close season. There it is, the 8th of June 2016, so he's only been at the club a month, so he hasn't really had a huge impact yet. But that much money on a player for a team in the Vanarama National League is absolutely ridiculous. But you can see that they've really gone for it. And their general information still looking pretty good. They've still got that perfect reputation. Only 500 season ticket holders, though, despite spending £27 million on a player. Estimated value of £1 billion, so doing very, very well. Ticket prices, as you would probably expect for a club with the reputation that they've got. But I'm not really sure what else to look at here, so instead, let's go forward another year. Well, as you can see, Boston did win the Vanarama National League as well, so they are firing up the table very quickly. They've still got Adam Murray in charge as manager, who was there from the very beginning, but Steve Sidwell, now the club captain. They've also got Bernat from Spain. How has that happened? That is absolutely out of this world. If we look at their general information again, their estimated value dropped down from £1 billion to £200 million. That is a huge loss in valuation. £800 million wiped off. If you were a major company, that would really put you into some difficulty with their shareholders. But they have quadrupled their season ticket holders. The ticket price is exactly where they were before. If we have a look at the backroom stuff and look at their club details, their attendance has gone up by 971, the maximum club attendance, so that is at least starting to repair. They've got half as much money as they had, and they've only got up 2 leagues so far, really burning through that cash. Still at the same dodgy stadium that they moved into after getting rid of their 150,000 seat stadium. 20 for all of their facilities still, though nothing has gone down there, so everything else pretty much as it was. If we take a look at their transfer screen, if we go to the transfer histories and drop back here, just see if they brought any more players in, and boy did they bring some more players in. They went on a huge spending spree, £69 million spent. That is an awful lot of money. The year before that they did spend a bit of cash too, spent £8.5 million, but then they went and spent £69 million. That is crazy money. Obviously we knew about Ben Woodburn, but they also brought in Damari Gray from Leicester, Neil Fry from Middlesbrough, Mendy from Leicester as well, Sam Gallagher, another great young player, Pereira coming in, another one, Amaruo joining as well, Johnston, even Ashley Young joining them from Manchester United. That is one hell of a strong team for the Vanarama National League North. Absolutely crazy stuff. And this season they've gone and spent more money again, bringing in Jesse Lingard, Danny Ings, Theo Walcott, Kieran Gibbs and Bernat. How have they signed Bernat? I signed Bernat when I'm in the Premier League, and they've gone and done him on a free transfer. Absolutely crazy that they've managed to do all of that. If we take a look at their overview for the season. If we can get back to the main screen, look at their profile screen. Rather, if we look at their senior squad and the players that they brought in, Jesse Lingard at the top of the pile in terms of valuation, signed for £10.5 million, not yet played for the club as a new signing. Berguis also joining them. Where did he come from? He's been signed by Watford in his first season, not actually doing that well in the Vanarama National League. He was on loan at Feyenoord, then moved to Boston in non-league football. Danny Ings, a huge signing for them there, 15 goal scoring ability, joining for £7 and a bit million. Theo Walcott, the new player coming in, worth £13.5 million. Ben Woodburn, though, the star striker from last season, he went and got 10 goals and 10 assists in 27 league games, doing very well in his first season in non-league football. Kieran Gibbs also moving to the club recently. Pereira joined them, I think, last season, did he? And he got 27 games, 9 goals, 9 assists, doing very well in their march up the table. Other key players from that season, Damari Gray coming in, must have been incredible that year. In fact, he only played 6 games and got 1 goal. Other players down here, Vanuatu just joined them. Sam Gallagher they signed last season, I think. He's come in. 9 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. Just crazy the players that they're bringing in, and it's all to do with the reputation of the club. If we look at their senior squad schedule for last season, you'll see that they started off the Vanarama National League very well, getting an awful lot of wins in there. Fitzpatrick getting a goal in there, Ben Woodburn popping up quite a bit with the goals when they need them, Mendy even contributing with a goal, but look at this winning streak going straight through in the FA Cup second round as well, and the FA Trophy first round. This is a long unbeaten run, getting past Luton in the FA Cup third round and beating Brentford in the FA Cup fourth round, a huge cup run. And still in the FA Trophy, drawing with Stockport in the FA Trophy third round, but still managing to get through, and then losing to Arsenal 3-1 in the FA Cup at home. Oxlade-Chamberlain and Alexis Sanchez getting the goals in that one to knock them out and stop an improbable FA Cup victory. But they carried on going in the FA Trophy before losing in the first leg semi-final and turning it around in the second leg. Goals for Berriton and Fletcher in there. And then in the FA Trophy final, they did manage to win it. Berguis and Lee Evans with the goals, allowing them to do the double, the Vanarama National League and the FA Trophy now in the cabinet. If we have a look at the overview, 2 Vanarama National Leagues in their history, 1 FA Trophy, the Vanarama National League North in there as well. So starting to add silverware already at the club. And if we have a look at their under-18 squad, because they have these perfect facilities, you can see they are bringing through young players worth £500,000. Andy Moran, the biggest name, 15 years old and worth £500,000, actually brought in from Shamrock Rovers. But if we go back again, have a look at Kenny Alley, worth £250,000. He is a naturally generated player at the club, a new regen, and you will see more and more of these players start to come through, like Neil Pearson, another youngster, and hopefully some of these players we will be able to track in the future. We'll see if they do really start to do well for the club as it progresses up the leagues, because they should get a lot more playing time than they would at another big club. So that'll be something interesting to take a look at. But I think that will be it for this episode. Obviously, things are progressing very quickly. Their team could be challenging for the FA Cup in a year or two, so something to keep our eye on there. Drop a like on this video if you're enjoying this experiment, and let me know in the comments what you think of it, if you've got ideas for other experiments, and also let me know if you'd like to see more from this one. Obviously I can end it if you guys aren't interested in it, but if you do want to see more, do let me know, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, see ya.